Nothing is controversial. This is the reality of what it is. Emotions just doesn't disappear. It turns into stress, anxiety, and a lot many more things. You cannot heal 40 years of trauma in 60 minutes.
Most of us only bother about the physical symptom.
Yeah.
Okay, we are not bothered about the emotional body, the mental body, and the spiritual body.
Yeah. But think about it. You go to a Western mediciner, an allopathy, they're not going to ask you anything. What are they going to say? Go get your blood work done. Go get your urine work done. And people trust doctors so much that they don't turn around and ask a question. They go have that pill to come back and get more pills and come back and get more pills. We are not energetically aligned to who we need to be and our thoughts and our emotions. When this is out of place, then it starts manifesting in your physical. And she messaged me again that I'm coughing blood. I said, this is your energy telling you that you have taken it too far. It's more on the lines of, oh, you're working with an external demon or your black magic. And
imagine if our 37.2 trillion cells are vibrating 24/7 and we had the ability to hear the vibration. How
magnificent that would be.
And how would we live with so much of sounds?
Hello everybody and welcome to episode 4 of Disconnect to Connect. I'm here joined by Shilpi, and today we are going to be talking about how suppressed emotions manifest in ourselves. So here is a request that I have for you. If this conversation gets you triggered, rather than scrolling on to the next video, I would want you to stay put, because this is a very sensitive topic and we are going to be talking about some very controversial things. But here is the catch. Nothing is controversial. This is the reality of what it is. It is simply that we don't accept it. And the reason why we are talking about these things is to normalize it. We are talking about these things to let you know that there is a place that you can go to and have these conversations. Emotions just doesn't disappear. It turns into stress, anxiety, and a lot many more things. So if you are somebody who's been avoiding anything in your life, remember that it's like collecting debt, and that it is going to come back as interest.
All right, Priya, you mentioned about emotions, suppressed emotions, and these coming back with interest. Was there any emotion that you were suppressing? If it was, then what was it?
Yeah. I got thyroid when I was in 10th standard. Okay. And I have been on thyroid medication I'm 40 years old now. It is only until a year ago that I stopped. So you see, I was on it for all this while. So the reason why I got thyroid, I don't want to get into the controversial aspect of it, that this pharmaceutical company manufactured medicines, did not know what to do with it. And then every patient who went into with a certain ailment, they were fed with thyroid medication. And then the thyroid pandemic started. Very silent one, right?
Yes.
No lockdowns, no whatever else. But if you look at it, most of the people in the world are consuming these tablets, just like many other things that we got, right? Now, the reason why I got thyroid was because, like I told you in one of the episodes, that I couldn't express myself, and even though I did, it was very difficult for people to understand what I'm talking about or why I'm saying certain things or why I'm feeling a certain way. That led to thyroid. And for somebody to have an ailment at a very young age, right? Like, it's very difficult to describe as to why you would get an ailment like thyroid. Because if you think about, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, I think things were much more safer, like food was much more safer than it is right now. And when you are in school, you hardly eat from outside. Like now the trends are changed, but then at our times, we mostly depended on home food, and there were nutritious food, there were home cooked meals. So you see, it's not the lack of iodine, or it's not the lack of anything else because of which ailments come about. It is because you are unable to be a certain way, because of which things manifest, right? So I got my thyroid when I was in 10th standard and I was on medication. It's only after I went through my spiritual awakening and my guides literally healed me through it, because there was this time wherein we were doing a meditation marathon. I want to call it a meditation marathon because we had like 3 meditations a day. And you'll not believe it, Shilpi, I had excruciating pain in my throat when I was sitting through those meditations. And the pain was so bad that I couldn't even swallow water. And it's not just my throat, my entire sides were also hurt. And I literally cried and I told my guys, you have to help me with this because I have lived with this for all these years and I don't want to live with this anymore. So, see, half the diseases that we have is, I'm not saying disease, I'm saying dis-ease because it's just that we have is because we are not energetically aligned to who we need to be and our thoughts and our emotions. When this is out of place, then it starts manifesting in your physical. I have like so many examples to give you. But the question that I have for you is, what do you think about suppressed emotions? And have you experienced anything like this?
Okay. Before that, I have to still know from you.
Yeah.
You said that you experienced thyroid from
Yeah.
a very young age when you were in 10th, but I also asked you if there was any emotion you suppressed. You said you got thyroid, but why do you think today you got it?
I think the emotion that I surprised was my authenticity.
Uh-huh.
Like I couldn't see, authenticity is an energy, right? And the energy comes from the place of a feeling. It's a lack of expression, right? And if you're unable to express, your throat is your machine of expression, your voice box. And if you're unable to express, then you're not being authentic. And you remember I told you about the world that I had created where I had kept account of what I said to whom and all those things. All those happened after this, or all those was happening already, and that is what led to this. So that was the emotion, it's a lack of expression.
Yeah. I certainly understand that because when you asked me if I have been through something like this, it's a similar thing. Uh, I think most of the women suffer with thyroid issues.
Yes.
It's mostly
Mostly women.
not men really. Okay. I haven't come across men complaining about thyroid issues.
I have.
You have? But very few in number comparatively. And of course, if they have thyroid, that means they have suppressed emotions.
Yeah.
Yeah, the expression, the ability to express. So I too had been diagnosed with thyroid, but probably 10 years ago. I'm going to be 50 now. So 10 years ago, I was diagnosed with thyroid. I had no idea that I was suffering with thyroid. I had put on weight suddenly. I was going through a lot of emotional turmoil. My body would ache terribly, like even the tip of a finger, touching my body with the tip of a finger, it would pain.
Can I tell you why you have body aches? Your, if you're somebody who, or even the listeners, if you're somebody who experiences a lot of aches and pains in the body without any rhyme or reason, it is because of the lack of love.
Yeah, I think it's a manifestation of so many things. Lack of love, lack of confidence, lack of open relationships where you're able to express being your authentic self, like you said. So even in my case, because like in one of the other episodes when I said I was conditioned to be a good girl, so I carried that conditioning that okay, I have to be a good girl. So I was a good mother, good daughter, good sister, good wife, but I was not a good Shilpi, good me. I didn't know what a good Shilpi or good me is supposed to be.
Yeah.
So there were a lot of things that I felt and perceived certain things in a certain way, but I did not feel it was right for me to express my ideas or my dissatisfaction. I suppressed it inside me. Anger, it was suppressed inside me. Sadness, it was suppressed inside me. And then 10 years back, I started experiencing cough. There was no phlegm. So I would lie down. The moment I would lie down in the night, I would start coughing. Nothing could save me from coughing. Every night it happened. Nights after nights, I couldn't sleep. Resulted in putting on weight.
Oh.
Okay. And a lot of pain in the body. Vitamin D also went down. So it was like a vicious cycle. Our throat chakra gets blocked here because we are not aligned.
Yeah.
And throat chakra is associated with expression, communication, and
Yeah.
that is where the thyroid is seated too. That's the seat of thyroid gland. If the throat chakra gets misaligned, thyroid it manifests in thyroid issues.
Yeah.
Okay, metabolism, immunity, everything gets
everything.
affected. So thankfully, I did not go for allopathy medicines, but I went for Ayurveda medicines, and then I started working on myself. And I think a lot of realization and awakening started happening from then, when I realized that my physical body is going through so much because emotionally I suppressed much. So yes, I think that that's how we manifest in our physical body all the
Yeah.
suppressed emotions.
Yeah, I want to give you a beautiful example, okay? This happened with one of my clients in journeying. So this lady is a powerful priestess, okay? And I mean it from my heart, because she has such amazing knowledge. She's a great channeler. She's amazing energy reader. So even though she has all these abilities, she's unable to bring them online. And the reason why she was unable to bring them online is because she's been through a very traumatic childhood. So she was abused by her father. She was abused by the guy she was about to get married to. So, she's gone through that physical abuse. There was nobody to support her through that. The mother did not trust her situation when she expressed about how the father had treated her. So, a lot of things have gone down, and she's been trying to heal like forever. Okay, I'm not the first person she's working with. I think I'm the last person she's going to be working with. So she's gone all around the world, met a lot of people, worked with a lot of people to heal all these things in her. And when she came to me, so we met each other in one of the other spiritual meditation programs. I told you about the marathon meditation, right? So we met there, but then we never communicated with each other. But then uh, she had a feeling that she's going to be working with me. So when I started offering journeying, she signed up with me last year. And you will not believe it, Shilpi, the kind of things that she's gone through. And just by doing shadow work, she's been able to get out of where she is. And I will tell you what happened just 2 weeks ago, okay? I have been asking her to share her knowledge. All right. So I've been asking her to share, because she's been downloading information and she's just keeping it to herself. So you see, even that is suppressing emotion, right? You're not able to put yourself out there. You're not able to show yourself. You're not able to talk your truth because you have been suppressing yourself for a very long time. So even though this is another thing that I want to bring about, healing doesn't mean that you come for 60 minutes and you are done, right? You cannot heal 40 years of trauma in 60 minutes. And also, healing is like peeling an onion. So
There are layers of them.
yeah, so the first, when you start healing for the first time, you are healing the most outwardly things, the things that you are aware of. And as you move in, you get into the crux of it, the core of it. And those are the core emotions, memories, feelings that you have suppressed, and you don't even know that you have suppressed them, and they're so unconscious, right? So she's been getting all these downloads and she's not putting them out. And I think it was during the 222 portal, or before the 222 portal, on the 20th of Feb. I needed to talk to her very badly, and I have been asking her, hey, can I call you? Can I call you? And she's been avoiding. So I like barged in. I'm like, fuck this shit, and let me just call her, okay? So I called her, and she was confused with a lot of things. So that conversation cleared, and I told her, dude. So what was happening is she's feeling very vulnerable. She's feeling very sad. She was unable to identify why she's feeling that way, because in her world everything is fine, all right? And she's like, I don't know why I'm sensing this. I don't know why I'm feeling so sad. And I said, what is that you want to do that you are not doing? And she told me, no, I'm doing grounding, I'm doing meditations, I'm doing this. I said, I'm not asking you what you're doing. I said, what is that you want to do that you're not doing? And she says, Priya, I shot some videos, but you know what? I'm still thinking about it. And I said, what are you thinking about it if you already shot it? She's like, no, I don't think they're great. I said, are you putting yourself down? Because you see, words have power, right? When I am doing something and I say, hey, I don't think it is great, nobody is going to receive it in a great way. I'll tell you in real time, like 2 minutes ago, I said, I'm shooting this podcast and I'm sharing all these information, right? I'm not coming from a place of I know everything. I'm coming from a place of I'm a work in progress. And I was like, how are the people who are going to see this perceive this? Are they going to feel that, oh, I want to work just with an expert, so I'm going to go to an expert? Or am I going to work with a person who's experienced, because there's more bonding, there is more personalization in that? And I told myself, I am being my authentic self, and I don't have to put a mask for people to perceive me in a certain way. There will be people who will be able to see the truth in this, and there will be people who will be aligned with the conversations that we are having, and there will be people who would want to be here, and this is just the beginning. Like, I feel it in my heart that this is just the beginning. I have not even scratched the surface. Okay, so coming back to her story, so I asked her this, and she told me about these videos. I said, listen, you have been thinking about it for the last 6 months. What you are doing is you're suppressing what you need to do. It's creative energy, right? And you're suppressing this creative energy. Think about it. You have all this knowledge, you have the skill, and you are channeling information which is pure magic, and you are suppressing it in your computer disk. Because you created videos, that means you've saved it somewhere, right? So it's in an app or it's in your phone somewhere. It's sitting there and it is rotting. It's like a broken idol in a temple. We never keep a broken idol in a temple, right? We always
Yeah.
go discard it in the ocean
Yeah.
or in a very deep pond. Similarly, when energy stays suppressed for too long, it is going to react in the adverse ways.
It becomes toxic.
Absolutely. So, and then I told her, what are you doing today? She said, I need to go meet my grandmother and I'll come back and I will post. Okay. But between me talking and between her going to her grandmother and coming back, she started coughing blood.
Uh-huh.
And she messaged me again that I'm coughing blood. I said, this is your energy telling you that you have taken it too far. So that night, she created her Instagram page. It is called the Soul Grid. And she put out something. And the minute she created her page, she had challenges, okay? So also remember that when you are a high vibrational person, there is a lot of bullies that we have to encounter, and that bully can come in any way. That bully can be a person, a situation, anything, technical challenges as well. So her Instagram was giving troubles with her creating an account and everything, but she said, you know what, I just signed in with my phone, so I'm going to create it. The minute she did that, she felt a massive release from her body, and she did not go through that cough or blood coughing or nothing after that. So you see, every time we suppress something and we don't address it, you remember in the beginning I said it collects, it's like debt. If you don't pay your debt, it collects interest and then you drown in that debt, right? There is like, it's like being in the abyss. There is no shining ray of light somewhere. It's that.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Priya. But the issue here is that most of us only bother about the physical symptom.
Yeah.
Okay, we are not bothered about the emotional body, the mental body, and the spiritual body.
Yeah.
Because we can't see these three faculties.
Yeah.
We can only see the physical
Physical,
body.
yeah.
So we are only concerned about the symptoms. So if somebody is coughing blood, oh, something is wrong. What
Yeah.
did she eat?
Yeah.
What happened to her?
Yeah.
But they never connected with emotions.
Yeah. Can I just give you an answer for that?
Please.
The reason why it comes to your physical is because it is already in your energy field.
Exactly. You're right.
Right? So when
I think the physical field is the
last one.
Yeah.
So when you're unable to eliminate the shadow from your energy field, then it has to be released somewhere, right? So it's like this, when you open walls of a dam, you know how the water rushes out.
Yeah.
Similarly, it stays in your energy field asking for you to pay attention to it. And you know it. Like, when I ask people, they say, I don't know. And I don't like that answer, I don't know, because damn, I don't know is an excuse that you're giving yourself. Because you are unwilling to think what the fuck is wrong with you.
You're so hard on people, Priya.
I am.
But I think they need somebody like
See, the
you.
energy that I work with is Sekhmet, okay? She is like Ma Kali. She's beautifully motherly, passionate and everything. But she doesn't care two fucks about how you're feeling. Okay? So when I work with her on my clients and I'm like, you need to go soft on her, is what I tell her. And I can feel the glare coming at me. I was like, okay, fine, you do whatever you need to do. So it's like that. She is a fierce goddess. And when you're working with fierce goddesses, they are not going to let you sit in your excuse.
Exactly, that's the way it should be, because sometimes we need to be completely shaken up.
Isn't it?
Yeah, it has to be really hard one.
And you will not believe it, all the people who have come in for journeying are the people who have gone to everybody else. They have lost all hopes. They don't trust any healers. And then they come And they tell me upfront, I'm very happy that they tell me upfront that, you know what, I have done therapy, I've gone to a counselor, I've gone to a psychiatrist, they have asked me to take, I worked with an ADHD guy recently and he was on the brink of taking medications.
Uh-huh.
And I told him, give this a try. Just give it a try. What are you going to lose any which ways, right? अगर सब कुछ ठीक है तो ठीक है. If not, then you go back to medicines. And he put that faith into me, and he came in, and we worked for 4 or 5 months, and he's in a place where he doesn't need medication. He's in a place where he has more understandings about his shadows. That's the beauty about working with shadow work, okay? And there's a lot of misconception as well about shadow work. It's more on the lines of, oh, you're working with an external demon, or your black magic and all these bullshit
Those are all
that
myths,
people
yeah.
have, spoken about, because they don't understand what shadow work is. I agree that the shadows that is suppressed in a person is their inner demon.
Yeah.
That's not coming from outside. You're already living with it. So why not do something? Why not take a step or two to get them out, release them, or transmute them? Because that is a powerful energy that you're sitting with. Think about it. If you have, for example, the shadow of thyroid, lack of self-expression that I've had it when I was probably 15 years old. I had it until I was 38 years old. Do the math, I'm very bad at it. So in these number of years, that emotion that I have stored in me has become really strong, because I have tried a lot to suppress, not talk, and all these things. So I'm putting a lot of effort to be a certain way. Why would I just want to release it? I want to take that, manipulate it, make it work for me, and then use it for my life. That is the beauty of shadow work. And that is why, when people go to people like rosy things, right? They don't like dark, dingy places, like bright, light places. So when you go to a meditation where, let's say, you're doing divine feminine, divine masculine, it's healing, but you're not ready for that healing. Like, if you have so many shadows in you, it's like you're painting on a black canvas. How is that painting going to look good if the canvas is already dirty? Clean it. When you clean it, you raise your vibration, and then you do an inner child, or then you do a divine masculine, and then you do different things. It will be useful, because it will affect you. Otherwise, you're just experiencing 10% of the bliss and missing out on the 90%.
That's what, see, when you talk about cleaning, that cleansing has to happen at an energetic level.
Yes.
People are cleaning their home, people are bathing, but they're not cleansing their energetic self.
Yeah, when I was a child, I used to tell my mother, like when she used to ask me to take shower, I would tell her that my heart is clean. Okay, and she just stare at me. So you see the disconnect between me and my mother. You see the lack of expression. I'm so sorry to interrupt you. This just popped into my head.
Okay, your heart is clean. Yeah. Yeah, no, I understand where you're coming from, because when you talked about disease is mean we are not at ease, and that
Yeah.
is why it is transforming
Yeah.
into disease.
Yeah.
And disorder means we
Yeah.
are out of order, we are
Yeah.
not in tune.
Yeah.
And like Einstein said, that energy never gets destroyed, it only transforms for better or worse.
Yeah.
So if you're storing energy which needs to be released, then it is transforming into a worse situation. Diseases,
Yeah.
disorders.
Yeah.
So that's what we do with sound also when we talk about shadow work.
Yeah.
Like you work with people who need to release.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So when we work with sounds also, we do the release
Yeah.
work.
Yeah.
Okay, because when we are not in alignment, the cells in our body,
Yeah.
they don't vibrate at the right frequencies.
Yeah.
Okay, and when they don't vibrate at the right frequencies, the disease starts taking shape in the energetic body.
Absolutely.
Okay, and then it manifests in the physical
Physical.
body. Right, so the problem has begun. You can feel a lot of
Yeah.
issues.
Yeah.
So it's better to do some work on yourself at the right time
Yeah.
before it shows up as thyroid, migraine, blood pressure, diabetes, cancer, tumor,
Yeah.
hypertension.
Yeah.
These are all related to stress and
Yeah.
toxic energy.
Yeah.
Right, but people don't understand that. They will go pop medicines and they think
Yeah.
they're done.
And there is another side to it, okay? Earlier, in India at least, the main form of medical services was either homeopathy or Ayurvedic. And even now, if you go to a homeopathy or Ayurvedic doctor, the first thing that they're going to ask you is, how are you feeling mentally? Are you stressed?
Yes.
Right? Are you overworked? They ask this. They simply don't prescribe a pill to you. right? They want to understand how is your emotional state, and then they will tell you, hey, you know what, sleep at 10 o'clock, wake up at so and so time, walk, do this, eat this. So everything is very beautifully orchestrated so that you end up feeling a certain way. So even though they are not directly being this counselor or whoever for your emotional requirements, they're at least asking you, what do you think is a core, they're trying to understand what is the root cause of the way of why you're feeling the way you're feeling. But think about it, you go to a Western medicine or an allopathy, they're not going to ask you anything. What are they going to say? Go get your blood work done, go get your urine work done, right?
It's like they're treating a machine.
Yeah, do this. Oh, you have this. Okay, these are the pills. Go have them for a week. And you know, people trust doctors so much that they don't turn around and ask a question. They go have that pill to come back and get more pills and come back and get more pills.
It's easier, Priya. Popping pills is always easier.
Yeah.
And also because a blood work report, you can see, you can have the readings. Because there are many things that even the medical diagnostics cannot diagnose. They cannot explain it, they cannot diagnose it. I remember I had treated one lady of her back pain. Okay, she had been experiencing acute back pain. Every morning she woke up from bed, it was difficult for her to immediately get down. She would take some time, and her back would ache for 2 years. And she would tell me all the time, Shilpi, my back is aching, and I went for MRI, and MRI, they can't detect anything.
Yeah.
There is nothing in the scan. So I said, why don't you start some therapy? She said, I don't have time. I said, then if you get bedridden, what will you do? And then she said, how do I manage? I said, I am okay to treat you even at 5 o'clock in the morning. Come to me at 5 o'clock. I'm okay to treat you. And then you have the whole day at work. You don't have to bother about it. You just dedicatedly come early in the mornings. She said, yeah, that's a good idea. So she started coming all the way from Richmond Road to Kalyan Nagar. And I think in almost six sessions, she said, I don't feel the pain anymore. It's gone.
Brilliant,
It's just
right?
gone. And as a therapist, I was like in cloud nine. I said, oh, wow.
I know.
You know, that gives me confidence that all this energy work that we do as light workers, it really works.
Yeah.
It's not about popping pills, because when you pop pills, it's about treating your energy body with chemicals.
It is treating your, see, first of all, the physical body is very dense.
Yes.
Okay. The physical body is very dense because of the food we consume. Oh, my mind just was like, no, not just food. Not just the food, anything we consume, like all the
Content.
digital stuff that we consume, the conversations outside that we consume, the food that we consume, the air that we breathe, everything, right? Our thoughts also we consume. So anything that we consume which is not in alignment with our frequencies, with our energies, with who we really are, your body becomes dense. Now, your body is already dense, and now you're making it even more dense with all these medications, right? And when you pop pills, you might be popping pill for a fever, but you have no idea where all that is going. You have no idea what all it is doing, right? And I have seen people, and I have seen spiritual people who claim to be spiritual popping pills left, right, and center. This reminds me of another thing. I need to tell you this, okay? I woke up one fine day in 2023 and I had a terrible pain in my perineal area, okay? And I did not know what was happening to me, because I was like, and I was at the best of my health, so I didn't have any challenges, and I left my job, I started my work, my soul work, and that is when this happened. So I left my job in Feb, and this happened in the month of October. I woke up one morning and I simply couldn't get out of bed because of the pain. And I didn't understand what was happening, so I thought, okay, let me wait for a day and see what is happening. And the pain wasn't reducing, it was simply increasing. So I went the next day to the doctor, and they said I have a perineal abscess, and there was no signs or symptoms. So she's asking me, did you go through this, were you not eating a lot of fiber, were you constipated, blah blah. And I was like, no, I'm telling you, I'm in the best of my health, and I don't know why this happened. And her immediate response was like, okay, I'll give you painkillers, you need to get a surgery done. And in my head, I was like, I am not going under the knife. Okay, and I'm not recommending this for anybody. I'm just saying my story. That's about it. If you can connect, great. If not, just leave that at that. So I said, I'm not going under the knife because this has happened before. And then when it happened, I knew this is happening. I was already trying to take care of it. It was not happening. And you know the worst part about allopathy doctors, if you have a problem, they will tell you, come to me when this happens, meaning that's the last stage of it. Then you need to go under the knife and get all those things done and stuff like that. Okay, so it's like, I'm not going under the knife. You will not believe it. Things aggravated so badly that I nearly died. I was in the ICU for 7 days on ventilator, having no idea as to what is happening. That's an episode for another day because that's fucking interesting. So I went through a near-death experience. I came back, and then is when I was checking as to why did I get this in the first place. Because think about it, Shilpi, you went to sleep perfectly fine, and you're waking up with something so weird, right? So I consulted a channeler in UK through a friend of mine, and he told me that this is something that was pent up within me for all these years, and it was necessary for this to get out. And you know, there are still emotions which cannot be cleared through shadow work or through of healing. It takes time, and it is already in your physicality, so it has to get out. And this was the example of that. So I had to get through with this in a physical way. And when he told me this, it made absolute sense, because I went through a very bad divorce. I went through a very traumatic divorce, and then a couple of years during the wedding, during the divorce, after the divorce, was all very, very, very traumatic. So that must be almost like
All that pent up
10
pain.
years of nonsense that was already there in my system, and it had out this way. And that was one of the biggest milestones that I had to cover. So I was like completely incapacitated for almost 3 months, and then that happened. And I will tell you, I was asked to make a decision, and I was withdrawing from making that decision. It was regarding my relationship, okay? And one night when I woke up to go to the loo, it was a bloodbath in the loo. And I came back crying and asking my guides, what am I doing wrong because of which you're making me do this? Why is this happening to me? And my guides were like, you know what you need to do and you're not doing it, which was breaking off with the person that I was. And I told, like, I went through with the breakup only to get to know after 3 months that that person was already two-timing me with somebody else. And you see the beauty of how this entire thing unfolds, okay? Had I got to know that this person was with somebody else when I was unwell, my whole healing process would have been jeopardized, right? I would have been emotionally in such a bad place that, forget the healing, I probably would have gotten more sick. So I was not informed about that. So I got better, and it is after 3 months that I because of the amazing stalker that I am, that I got to know that this is happening. And I was like, oh my gosh. So you see, suppressed emotions, even though we pay no heed to it, even though we hear it, we don't give it so much importance.
Yeah, people think that, oh, we have healed and we are fine. Nothing
Yeah.
is, it doesn't matter to us right now. But then that is logically you're thinking with your conscious
Yeah, that's
mind.
intellectual masturbation, right?
Yes.
You've read 4 books and you feel that, oh, I'm healed, I know everything about healing. That is your ego. That is also a shadow, by the way.
Yeah,
Gosh, yeah. So that, right? Now, I want to ask you something. How does sound help release emotions or helps work with the shadow?
yeah. I think, see, both the modalities have the focus on releasing pent up emotions, right? And the unwanted energy that is stuck up in the body.
Okay.
Right? How is the unwanted energy stuck up in the body? Because of unexpressed emotions. So the instruments that we use, or we use vocal channelizing with vocal chanting, vocal mantras, sounds, the sounds that we can make. So all of these sounds have certain frequencies. Okay, now we are an energy body. We are atomic in structure.
Yeah.
We have 37.2 trillion cells vibrating in our body 24/7. We can't see the vibration.
Yeah.
We can't feel the vibration
Yeah.
because our ears, imagine if our 37.2 trillion cells are vibrating 24/7 and we had the ability to hear the vibration, how
Magnificent that would be.
and how would we live with so much of sounds?
You're already living
24/7?
with so much noise in your life.
Aha, no.
But
There's
I get what you're
vibration,
saying, yeah.
we have, what we hear is between 20 hertz and
Yeah,
20
yeah,
kilohertz.
yeah, yeah.
Beyond 20 hertz
Yeah.
and 20 kilohertz, we can't hear.
Yeah.
We are blessed that we don't have to hear our own sounds.
True.
I'm not hearing your sounds. I'm
True.
hearing the sounds, only the audible spectrum.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So what we do in sound work is we use the audible spectrum. Okay, between 20 and 20 hertz and 20 kilohertz, and also a lower frequency, certain lower frequencies we use to tune into the body, like sending the vibrations into the body. Our body is a amazing conductor of
Yes.
sound because it's 70% water.
Yes, yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
and water has memory.
True,
Okay,
true.
so water has all the information about
Yeah.
our thoughts, information about our trauma, information about our past.
Information about our ancestry.
Yes, ancestry,
Yeah.
trauma of generations.
Yes.
Water has all the information along with the DNA, but water stores a lot of memory.
Yes.
Okay, so when these sounds travel through the body absorbs the vibrations through the skin, through the pores, through the blood and the water and the bones. It goes inside each and every cell. So we think that we are hearing the sounds, but even the entire body is absorbing the sounds. It's just not through audible spectrum.
Got it. Yeah.
So when the sounds are absorbed, they push out the energy toxins because they are entraining the frequencies of the body.
Got it.
The frequencies that the body has lost because of stress and continuous stress, these sounds start treating those parts of the body. So some of the frequency may go and resonate with the lungs or the kidneys or the heart or the pancreas or the digestive system, reproductive system, the thyroid gland, pineal gland, all the glands, all the organs in the body, and they detox all these organs because we can't see where the stress toxins are getting collected.
Yeah.
And in our modalities, we treat the body as a whole. We don't treat one organ of the body, one part of the body,
True.
right? And all the stress, where is it arising from?
Yeah.
The mind. So when it is arising from the mind, but it is going inside the body and it's going and affecting different parts of the body. So these sounds will travel through the water inside each and every cell, align all the organs because it is happening through the principle of entrainment. The brain waves get entrained. When the brain relaxes, it starts sending this relaxation signals to all the body organs. It's time to relax, it's time to detox,
Cool. Yeah.
release the energy. And these energy gets released from the body in an invisible form. We can't see all that.
Yeah.
We can't see all that. But sadly, we believe things only that we see.
That we see.
Yeah.
Not the ones that we feel.
Yeah.
That's also because we don't trust ourselves. No, we don't trust what we feel. We feel something and then we ask, oh, did I really feel that?
That is why we are so disconnected.
Yeah. So can we give them a taste of how this is by doing a root chakra healing?
Sure, let's do.
Okay, cool. So here is what we want you guys to do. We want you guys to sit in a very comfortable position and close your eyes. Take a nice deep breath in from your nose. And as you're breathing in, take the light from universe 360 degrees into your body of blood and bones. And let that light travel down to the entire body. And as you exhale, exhale from your mouth and release anything that is ready to be released. Let's do that once more. Inhale, light into your body, let it travel. And exhale, anything that is ready to be released from your mouth. Let's do that again. Inhale. And exhale. And feel the sound in your root. Through the eyes of your mind, look at what is the color of this energy point. Do you see it nice and red? Do you see gray, smoky parts? How does your body feel when you're paying attention to your root chakra? Do you have itching sensations anywhere? Do you feel uneasy? Now let this frequency flow into your root chakra. Allow this frequency to flow into your root chakra. Tell your mind to allow this frequency to flow into your roots. Tell your heart to allow these frequencies to flow into your root. And keep your focus on your root. This is an energy point. It is called a chakra because it rotates. Do you see your root chakra rotating? If you do, great. If you don't, then allow yourself, allow your body to feel the frequency in the root. And you will slowly see it start rotating. felt better, because grounding is one of the most important thing that you need to do, because we have so much surge of energy happening in the atmosphere right now, and if you're not grounding yourself enough, then you will feel a little haywire within your own self. So ground yourself often. You can play this multiple times for grounding. And thank you, Shilpi, for those amazing sounds. You can either sit with your emotions, let it be suppressed, or you can decide to work on yourself and work through your shadows. And anything that you have been running away from doesn't disappear from your life. Haven't you heard this phrase that says anything that you resist persists? This is one of the cases where this can happen in an amazingly accelerating rate. So, here is a request. If you have felt aligned with anything that we have spoken with or everything that we have spoken with, make sure you apply for Disconnect to Connect, and let's see you on the other side. Thank you, and thank you, Shilpi.